Commence primary ignition.
Hello there. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the return of Celebrating Autographs. I'm Mark Von Olin, and today I'm joined by Dave O'Neill once again to talk all things Texas. Texas Part 2,
Texas
Electric
Part 2.
Boogaloo, the
There's so
sequel.
much Texas, it takes more than one.
And there might be yet another show.
Sure.
But today we're going to go through all of our Boonta Eve guests. So for anyone who might have missed us last week, go back to our channel on YouTube, the Virtual Cantina Network, and check out last week's episode where we go one by one through all of the guests that are attending Rebel Scum Con, which is 3 weeks away. Dave, are you ready? Are you ready for the show?
I am so not ready. I've got like pieces and parts of things that I want to get signed here on my desk, but I've got other things in my con bag. I've got other things that are no, not at all.
Nope.
What? Where?
Is that me or you, Dave? Who am I losing?
Probably me.
It could be me.
Probably me. I think we're good. Yep. Anyway.
All right, no worries. I'm going to jump off my other Wi-Fi. Okay. Yeah, I am also knee-deep in gathering things. I have a Mandalorian poster that has several people on there, including Omid Abtahi and Chris Bartlett, who are going to be at the show, that I need to add some of their compatriots to. So one of the things we're going to do today is help everyone do that kind of preparation. We're going to go one by one through all of the Boonta Eve guests, and then we're going to look at by property who's going to be attending so you can plan your cast pieces and whatever else. This took forever, you guys. I hope you are very grateful. I was dying last night trying to figure out just how many properties Sam Witwer is in. Just bring him anything. He'll sign it at this point. Like, he'll tell you if he wasn't in it. I think that's the best plan, is like assume he was in it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there, I've seen some stuff on the Rebel ScumCon pages. It's like, I've got Ray on this, or should I get Ray on this, or should I get Sam? Sam will sign anything, Maul. It's up to you. All of these things and all these suggestions are about what you want. If you want him on a Maul that is clearly from the Phantom Menace, he will sign it.
Yep.
It might not be the most appropriate, but it's your autograph.
Yeah, I doubt he would sign a Phantom Menace movie poster, but I think any specific mall merchandise, because there are Funko Pops and action figures, and like the character of Maul has sort of become his. And in fact, Sam Witwer has a new show out. It's going to be, oh my God, I never get it right. Shadow Lord or something like that.
Lord?
Yeah.
Shadows.
Prince of Darkness, Lord of the Shadows. I don't know. He'll tell you all about it. He said he's going to break his NDA and tell us the whole plot. So that's your lure to go to Texas. So I'm very excited about that. But yeah, Sam's in literally everything. And there are numerous actors here who are across various properties. I think he, Matt Wood, and David Collins can fist fight it out for as to who has the most placement across the various things they can sign. Because D. Bradley Baker's not there. Otherwise, he might win.
Right. Otherwise, D. Bradley Baker would.
Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, freaking easily.
Yeah. So we pulled together a pretty comprehensive list of all the different slices of the fandom to help you guys like build some cast pieces. And, we're going to talk helmets and other things like that too. So it's going to be really fun.
Yeah. So you ready to go to the big slides?
Yeah. Let's switch it up.
We'll
get
into
into
the big
Boonta
slides.
Eve.
Let's check out this. Like, this is everybody that's going to be there. This is the Boonta Eve, Friday, August the 8th. This is all of the stuff. So just, be prepared to see all of these people.
And reminder that VIP is sold out, but we still have tickets for the event, the regular event. It's an after event, kind of after party, but also autographs, photo ops, karaoke, some special presentations. You'll get to meet a bunch of us. We're going to give out, we have swag and we have
Swag,
merch to buy.
merchandise.
So there's going to be a bunch of different things. All right, so let's get into the details of the show. So as a reminder, Rebel ScumCon is August 8th through the 10th in Frisco, Texas. Get your plane tickets now; they are cheap, cheap, cheap. And that Friday, August 8th, is our event, Boonta Eve Special Edition. These are the details here at the Revel Bar and Grill. $35 for tickets, $30 for kids under 12, and it starts at 8 p.m. With about a dozen signers who are going to be there. And we're going to start with our headlining guest. She was our final announcement for
Yes.
Boonta Eve, Diana Lee Inosanto. She is a force of nature. Morgan Elsbeth herself, the Night Sister witch who took on Ahsoka in The Mandalorian and then returns in Ahsoka with the Blade of Talzin. She's also in Tales of the Empire, where there's a whole story built around her character. So yeah, she's pretty prolific and become one of like the big baddies of the new Mando era.
Well, and all over like other things too. I can't decide what I'm going to have her sign because she's also a published author. She has a
Hmm.
children's book out that she co-authored with her son, and she is a phenomenal martial artist. So I have like an issue of a magazine that she's a cover story on. I've got her
Hmm.
book. I've got a Morgan Elsbeth Black Series figure.
Ooh.
So many things.
Yeah, and I feel like it's that meme of like, why not both? And so why choose when you could just do all of them? I know for me, I'm really going to lean in on my Mandalorian piece because as you see when we get to the slides toward the end, there's a lot of Mando people coming to this show. Like Mandalorian is the slice of the fandom that has the most representation both at Rebel Scum Con and at Boonta Eve. So if you're thinking this is your time to start a Mandalorian cast piece, whether it's a helmet, a poster, a lithograph, something else that's fancy, a dark saber, there are lots of things you can do. There you go, a beautiful helmet. Who's on there? I can't see because we're in the little bubble.
Brendan Wayne.
Oh, the Mandalorian girl. If you're starting with Brendan, yeah, yeah, he's terrific. So we got to put all of his allies and antagonists on that helmet. Yeah, let's go.
Yes.
And she's one of the best antagonists. And of course, she made her debut in The Mandalorian and then was a major baddie in Ahsoka. So start your Ahsoka pieces too. And continuing in the Mandalorian realm, one of my favorite people, Omid Abtahi. Did you have time to talk to him at all on the family vacation, Dave?
I did is like before doors opened actually I met him at Scum and Villainy and we got to talk a little bit just getting him set up and in his place and everything. He's amazing.
Hmm.
Just so great and so personable.
Yeah, one of my favorite people. I've worked with him for a few years. He was our first signer that we actually brought on for trading cards at Tops when we were doing our Mandalorian product.
Yes.
He obviously plays the doctor in season one who's trying to do all the genetic experiments on little baby Grogu. I actually brought him a baby Grogu from Ruby's a few years ago. I think it was at Rhode Island because he's on my Mando poster, which I'll have to slide over as we get deeper into the episode. But if you're also a Clone Wars fan, don't forget he has a voice in the Clone Wars and he's in the Lawless. So he and Anna make a lot of
Yeah.
sense together. Yeah.
That's what I'm going for him this time is I do not yet have him on my Clone Wars bucket.
Hmm.
So I need
Yes.
him on that.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, don't. And this is why. By the way, this is why I was like losing it at like midnight last night, as I'm double checking everyone's credits to make sure that we have everyone confirmed for what slices of the fandom they are in. But Omid is definitely, obviously, a Mando signer, and you can also put him on the Clone Wars. Um,
Yes.
Coming up next, one of our OT people, David Ankrum. He's the voice of Wedge. And we know that Dennis Lawson is going to be at Rebel ScumCon. We have the voice of Wedge from A New Hope coming to Boonta Eve. He makes it for a great pair with Dennis, obviously. And yeah, there are plenty of helmets. We've got some Wedge. There's a lot of Wedge Antilles merchandise out there. Dave, that's beautiful.
Completely, yes. Is Dennis Lawson has a great signature. I've got the other side completely reserved for David Ankrum. It's gonna be that's gonna be the thing. That's one of my major gets.
Hmm. And you can put him on your New Hope poster. He's also in Rogue One. So that's exciting that, again, sign in a couple different places, and one of several fighter pilots that are attending
Yes.
across the two shows. And then we have
I
Fawn
think there's
Davis, and I
even
put
like
on.
a fighter pilot 3-pack or something of Funkos and all sorts
Mhm.
of.
There's also a group photo op, which we didn't get into on the, like, I'm gonna put that together separately, as like all the group photo ops seem to keep growing, based
Mhm.
on now that the autograph and photo op list is complete for Rebel ScumCon. We should be fully stacked, but we're gonna put together a separate set of slides for that and send it out to the group, so everyone can start planning. Because I know how Skip is. He will get a photo with everyone
Yes.
and then bring the photo to sign, at the table. So his autographs are very like time captured as opposed to a piece of something.
Right. Yeah, but he has done, and I've seen him do like those group photos, and then multiple people that just
hmm
everything, all the signatures.
I've got my best group photo is the Clone Wars one from Celebration 2019. It was only one of two group photos that I jumped in, when I was running the green room and everything, and it's got D. Bradley Baker, Matt Lanter, Kat Tabor, Matthew Wood, Ashley Eckstein, Tom Kane, and James Arnold Taylor. So it is the
Woo.
core group of clone
Yes.
people. That's impossible. I mean, now that Tom Kane is semi-retired after he had that stroke too, he's not doing any appearances again. So it would be impossible to sort of get this group together. But D is definitely out on the circuit, as are who I call the Holy Trinity: Ashley,
Yeah.
Matt, and James.
James are
And
usually
now,
together too.
yeah, and they're somewhere coming up very soon. I just saw them, a couple weeks ago here in New York, and they're doing the circuit again. And Kat is out there with them.
Oh,
So the Clone Wars people are definitely out and about. And Matt Wood will be at Rebel ScumCon. So work on your Clone Wars pieces. These are accessible people. So if you're looking for a cast piece, it's not like there are so many unattainable names there. Moving on
no,
to.
and you can get so many, and you can let the rabbit hole go as deep as you want.
Mhm.
You could stop with the main. You could stop with one. You could stop with three. You could
Mhm.
stop with 5, 10, or you could go like crazy.
Yeah, the list of signers for Clone Wars and for Rebels even is like 100 people.
Yeah.
And people have done one episode or additional voices or whatever. Up to
Like it,
you how you want to handle it.
like at my local con, is Skip is going to get Brent Spiner
Mhm.
from Star Trek fame largely,
Mhm.
but Brent plays a character in Rebels.
Oh, I'm aware. He's on my poster. Where's my Brent Spiner on here?
Well, I know you
Um,
know, but I'm saying
mhm.
everybody else doesn't know.
Brent Spiner. He plays a slimy senator in season one who ends up being a bad guy. Spoilers for a show that's 10 years old. And he was delightful when I spoke to him, and I was like, "We would love for you to do our podcast." And his handler was like, "Once you come into some serious money and can meet his podcast appearance fee of $100,000, please get back in touch, because you have to imagine every Star Trek podcast wants
Oh
him on."
yes,
So
right.
I think she was sort of kidding about the exact number, but the idea was, no, because Star Trek. Um, that poor man would just do that 365 days a year otherwise.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, which, by the way,
absolutely.
sign me up. That sounds like the best job in the world. I'm going to do that forever.
Well,
Um,
that's kind of what you're starting now.
it's
We're
yeah, this
already
this
doing
is it.
training.
Yeah, this is it continuing forever. Um, Fawn Davis,
On
whose
Davis.
picture has been up on the screen, and we have not talked about the man yet, has been prolific behind the scenes. And Phantom Menace only scratches the surface. He's actually in several other movies, including original and prequel. We have all of that in the upcoming slides. But he's a model maker. He's been in ILM for a very long time. Also, super nice guy. He was on the family vacation last summer, and I got
Mhm.
to talk with him for a bit. He's fantastic.
Also in Japan at our event, the Not So Virtual
Mhm.
Cantina in Japan. Fawn is great. Fawn, I think, probably is close to, if you can't make Texas and you're doing a pre-order with our friends at Everest Autographs, right? He
Mhm.
is if you're doing that, then Fawn, I think, probably has the most. There are literally like 80 different like 8x10s that you can choose from on properties that he's been in, and then that's just like his Star Wars stuff. So much other stuff is.
Yeah.
I've got a piece for Mouser Mecha Catbot, which is his battle bot that he built right there in the center there.
Yeah, the battle bots thing comes up in his IMDb as like known for. That one pops along with all the Star Wars stuff.
Yeah. The
Yeah,
only Mouser Mecha Catbot merch though is about the
yeah.
size of a 50-cent piece.
And he's got a plaque to go with it. Um,
Oh no,
Spencer, I see
I
you're
got a
in the.
very fine line little pen.
Oh,
It's a
there you
huge.
go. Spencer, I see you're in the chat. Let us know the name of that plaque company. I know you mentioned it last time.
Oh,
So if anyone wanted to
absolutely.
order plaques,
That
for people.
was, and if you look, that is on the Rebel Scum Con Facebook page as well. I think they did
Yep.
an ad for that this week.
Yep. We'll make sure we put that up. Um, Also at Boonta Eve, royalty is in the house. Anna Graves, a friend of the show. She plays Satine Kryze in the Clone Wars, as well as a couple of other. There she is. You love that autograph
I do love that
from
autograph.
Women of Star Wars trading card set from Tops. She also plays Senator Mina Tills, and she's in Rebels in one episode or two episodes.
Yeah.
One as a Night Sister ghost, which I love. So
Well,
I got
and
to add
then
her to my
there is
Rebels poster.
that bounty hunter with the big gun right there in the center.
Yes, that is
That's Clone Wars as
Suki.
well. Suki, there you
Sugi.
go.
Yeah, there's actually several bounty hunters that are just killer. And actually, we're coming up on it. We're on Clone Wars Revisited. We are midway through season 2 now, and the bounty hunters hit toward the end of the season. So we are approaching Mandalore, and then we tilt into bounty hunter territory. So it's going to be the back half of season 2 is a just banger after banger, basically. And Anna Graves is also part of the Ladies of Leia. She played Leia in Disney Infinity, which she talked about and on our episode when we interviewed
Mhm.
her a couple weeks ago. So if you have any Leia merchandise, especially if you have the Infinity Leia, which I have the little ones like this big,
Yeah.
she will absolutely sign some Leia items.
Very cool. And there Spencer is commenting it is AM custom plaques right there.
Yes, they make excellent stuff. Also, Anna Graves obviously plays Satine Kryze, the sister of Katie Sackhoff's character, Bo-Katan Kryze. And there are many, many Mandalorians. She was once the ruler of Mandalore. I think she deserves to be on a Mandalorian helmet, maybe even on a dark saber. Um,
Absolutely.
yeah. Continuing in our animation space, we have Taylor Gray, who plays Ezra Bridger in Star Wars Rebels and in Forces of Destiny. He's obviously the lead of that show in every episode. And yeah, he will obviously there's a good amount of Ezra merchandise now. My ghost includes sort of a Rebels looking Ezra, and I'm thinking I want him to sign that instead of trying to sign a piece of the ghost. Like I tried looking at the actual
I hate
ghost, and it
those people
wasn't
take off.
quite like what you were saying, with the different
Yeah.
texture on it. It wasn't quite working.
Right. Is well, and those came with carded figures on those, right? That had
Hmm.
the Rebels mural carded figures in there.
Yes.
So I think that's completely appropriate and would totally work.
Yeah.
Ezra has, or there are,
Look at
yeah,
that.
exactly.
Gorgeous.
There are Ezra Funko Pops. I think there's more than one pose. There's Ezra Black Series figures that
Hmm.
you can get. Disney, Walt Disney World has his original
Yep.
lightsaber,
The staple
the
gun saber.
staple
Yeah.
gun, and that's got a nice flat spot for a signature right there.
Yeah.
That
I
would totally work.
I considered getting my Ezra armor signed, but I was like, I'm gonna be wearing that everywhere. Like I can't
Yeah,
it needs to be that needs to remain wearable. Whereas this is a great display piece. And I have Freddie Prinze Jr. on the Kane and Black series, so I feel like this would be a nice companion to that.
I think
Also,
it
these are
would.
very rare, like because it only came with the Ghost. So
For the
however
ghost,
many they made, that's how many there are.
right? And Taylor will completely and totally sign your Job of the Hut figure.
Yes, he
Tongue in
absolutely
cheek,
will.
he will
Yeah.
totally sign your Job of the Hut figure.
And maybe even Lando or Han.
Absolutely.
He's also just the nicest. Um, Continuing in sort of the Ahsoka space, we have Nelson Lee, who plays Senator Giono, everyone's least favorite political figure, at least in the Star Wars universe. Um, he is delightfully sort of evil and the nicest person in real life. So get your Ahsoka posters ready for him. You gotta have the antagonist senator on there who's literally in a fight with Chopper, and I want to see
Well,
that play out.
yeah, this is one of those that there's not a figure for this character. Not yet, as I've looked, and there's not a figure. I don't even think for his character from Mulan that you see there as well. But you want to stretch the bounds and see is the odds of getting Dave Filoni on a chopper are slim. You could
Mm,
totally get Nelson on a chopper pop,
I like
right?
that. Yeah.
So it's what you want to do.
Yeah.
If that's your space.
Yeah, I like that idea. I think anything like the ghost actually would make a lot of sense from Ahsoka because it's from Ahsoka. So if the ghost were going to work, by the way, I didn't do like a full on experiment on the ghost. Like it just seemed like it wasn't going
Yeah,
to
yeah.
work. If anyone has any feedback on that, has anyone gotten their ghost signed? Because you could put Ahsoka people on there or Rebels people on there.
Right.
It would be fine, I think, for either way. Like Nelson would make a lot of sense. I might just bring a piece anyway, and then if I make a game time decision to start like adding people, I think Nelson would be really interesting along with Taylor Gray.
Absolutely.
Um, you've been on with Marty. Do you want to talk about how fun he is?
So Marty is just amazing. Is Marty we has signed for us before, is starting in Boonta, London, and that came out of the watch along that we were there. We're sitting there talking and we're promoting Boonta Eve, and he's talking about how he hadn't ever done any signings or anything ever before, and just the opportunity hadn't arose, and we're like, well, we might know a guy. So Marty signed, I think, for the very first time, Skeleton Crew. Uh, was it in Mandalorian anyway? He had appeared and done all the things. But Vane the Pirate, a great character. I love the fact that he is the through line that makes Skeleton Crew like in universe. You know what I mean?
Right.
Is it's the same thing as you've got the pirates from the episodes of Mandalorian that are reappearing. Marty is super fun. Marty got the opportunity to come sit with him and it in the panels at Celebration Japan, and that was a huge level of fun. The people walking by as they're entering, because we're sitting down front, and people just kind of walking in, looking at the stage, looking at the crowd, and then double take and like, yes, there he is right there.
I love when members of the Star Wars production side, like the actors and everyone, are also fans.
Uh-huh.
And so Sam actually wanted to walk around the floor at Celebration 2019 and was like, "Oh, I'm just gonna walk around." I was like, "You'll be killed! Like, we need to get you like armed security or whatever." But he was really interested in
Yeah.
mingling with the fans, and I've heard that about Marty too. Like, he just wants to like
Marty does
be
that
there and
as
soak it
well.
in.
I met that's how I had a chance to meet Brendan Wayne and Lateef Crowder. Were walking around at Celebration Anaheim,
Hmm.
all out in the crowd. And Brendan cannot be anonymous with the cowboy hat. It's like
No, that's the thing. If he got rid of the hat, um,
maybe.
I feel like there's a chance. But he's very tall too, so he's gonna like turn heads. He's tall and good looking, so people are gonna look, and then you're gonna recognize him. Like you really need to put on a Spider-Man suit and cover your face. Like that's the only answer to
Pulling
appropriately walk around these shows, right? Like
pulling Adam Savage.
yeah, basically.
But
Yeah. So
yeah, Marty
Marty's
loves to do that. So super fun. You can get him on Mando. You can get him on Skeleton Crew. Marty does have figure ish, right? Is Vane has a Lego minifig that comes with
mm,
Pirate Snub Fighter Lego. So
yep,
you can get that box. That's a perfect one to get that whole box signed. He's got a Fleet series, the Fleet series Pirate Snub
the ship.
Fighter, the
Yeah,
little mini ships, and it has a little bitty mini Vane figure in it. So
I
totally
forgot it came with a minifig. That's
it
cute.
does.
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome. Um, There are three other pirates coming from Skeleton Crew to
Hmm.
Rebel ScumCon. So if you haven't started your Skeleton Crew piece, Marty makes a lot of sense because we'll have four pirates from the show, and the kids are out on the circuit too. So between
Yeah.
the four kids and four pirates, that's half the cast right there. And then at some
Right.
point, Jude Law will just kidnap him or something. I'm sure there'll
So
be a
Jude
private
Law
signing.
has already
Yeah,
been out on the circuit as well. He was at
yeah.
MegaCon Orlando. So I got one of the last things that the D23 or Disney Rewards thing issued was a full size Skeleton Crew poster, like
Hmm.
24 by 36, giant poster. And so I have that. And, on a whim, went to MegaCon Orlando, have Jude, have all the kids, have Bryce Dallas Howard already on that, who is also on the circuit, recently announced for Rhode Island
Yes,
Comic.
Rhode Island. I'm telling you, the gods are shining upon us. Whoever you believe in, Jesus, Allah, Thor, whoever, they keep blessing Rhode Island Comic Con, especially with excellent Star Wars stuff. So, as we tell people on the network, it is our silver medal event. No matter what's happening on the calendar, you have to go to Rhode Island. And with Bryce being there, I mean, I kind of want her to sign like something from Tales of the Empire, right? Because that's where she plays Yaddle,
Yeah.
or Tales of the Jedi. So yeah, I love her, but I can't believe it that she's going to be there. Like I actually thought it was a hoax.
No.
Yeah.
I seem to recall that she had Yaddle 8x10s on her table. So
All right. Well, that's my girl. All right.
she loves signing Skeleton Crew. So you get Marty, you get the Pirates, you get Bryce Dallas Howard,
right? Because she directed an episode, so
she directed an episode, and she loved.
Yeah.
I mean, she like the whole thing, like and write it out. Bryce Dallas Howard, director, episode, yada yada. I think it was Friends No More, something. I know something about No Friends.
Yeah, I will have to check. Well, Rhode Island. I gotta survive Texas, and then we're gonna come back to. Well, one, I have to survive San Diego Comic Con. I fly out Monday. So for anyone who hasn't been following the rest of our episodes, Clone Wars Revisited this week. Ashley and Skip are co-hosting like they always do, and we're bringing in Jason Barnes as a third to help go through the episode. We're landing in Mandalore, which is very cool. But I'm out all week, so I will be in San Diego Comic Con. If anyone else is in San Diego, I believe that Jeff and Corinne are planning the meetup at the bar across the street from the San Diego Convention Center. I will be appearing there with a table with autographs and swag and all that stuff. Like I said, I give you $5 to take my autograph. And then, yeah, it'll be nice to see everyone. Last year, because of the family vacation, we had like 50 people at that thing. It was crazy.
We packed the entire back room and had an overflow into the front, and yeah,
it was wild. Even the year before, where there, we didn't have a family vacation attached to it, there were probably 30 people. Like it's always a good turnout at San Diego.
Yeah, it's a big event, and with the Maker appearing in Hall A.
Yeah, that Star Wars fans are going to be there.
Yeah.
Okay. Going back to original trilogy, John Morton, one of our favorite people.
Yes.
He plays Dak Ralter, and he's also one of our Boba Fetts. So this goes back to like character ownership, right? Like he's the Boba Fett in Empire Strikes Back, and he specifically has photography of his scene where he knows he's playing Boba Fett, and will pretty much sign those types of 8x10s. But helmets and other type of Funko Pops, action figures, he'll sign any of that. Like there.
Yeah. There's your John Morton. He's got the whole cheek piece right there on there.
It
was an amazing one, and I don't think I can get to it quickly, easily. He's signed. There is a Power of the Force put out a snow speeder with a Dak figure inside it. So I've got him on one side of it, and he was super conscientious about making sure that he signed and left space if I ever get Mark Hamill.
If you ever meet Mark. Yeah, so that's nice. We did a few dual autographs.
I have so many things that I would want Mark Hamill on, but that may have to be the one.
That's a good one, especially when you have it paired with like another important character. We did a few dual autographs and top sets. You can find John Morton paired with Mark Hamill from Empire. That makes a lot of sense. Spencer was showing me some Celebration 5 official pics, photos from back in the day, which those have been out of print for a long time. And by the way, Dak Ralter is a sexy man. He's got that beautiful smile. And if you see that one, there's like one approved photo of him that's like a set photo. And he's like, there's two of them. One, the helmet is covering his face more than the rest, but it's a great picture. We used it on every autograph set because we had such limited photo availability for his character. So he's signed that considerably, but the Celebration 5 specific one with the little logo from official pics, very hard to come by. But yeah, he's got a ton of Boba Fett merch though. So bring all your Boba Fett stuff for John. We also have Warren Pruill Jr. He has appeared in Obi-Wan Kenobi, Mandalorian, Book of Boba Fett. I think also Ahsoka. He's been in all of the live action Mandoverse territory. Obviously the stand-in for Obi-Wan Kenobi himself, and he's played a stormtrooper, a sand trooper, and a Tusken Raider, so he does some stunt work, a little bit of everything. Super nice guy too.
Yeah, is I'm going with this, my Obi-Wan Kenobi
Mm.
figure. And if you can't get because of the glare on the package. I mean, I personally think the figure looks more like Warren than it looks like Ewan.
Yeah, did
So
they scan Warren for that figure?
I don't know, but that's what I'm going with because
Yeah,
that's what I'm standing with right there. Is
yeah. He looks really close, and the beard is perfect.
yes,
Yeah, and also once you put on the costume, it really pulls it together. Like your eye gets tricked. It's almost like watching an artist lip sync. Like you know that it's like not quite, but at the same time your brain is fooled.
it is.
Yeah, you look at that picture. That's Obi-Wan Kenobi right there.
Yeah, fucking Obi-Wan
Yeah.
Kenobi. But yeah, but there are sand trooper figures out there. There are the knight, the zombie trooper, red, whatever. That there's
Mhm.
so many things, and of course cast pieces for all of those.
Yes. Yeah, and this is where I think an actor like this should be on the cast piece more than an
Mhm.
individual character thing. Unless you're like specifically a specific character, like he makes a lot of sense to add to your posters. Same thing with Pam Riddle. She plays so many different creatures across the Mandoverse, in The
Yeah,
Mandalorian, in the Book of Boba Fett, in Obi-Wan Kenobi, and there are definitely plenty of Rhodians to be had across. Like Greedo is the most famous.
yeah.
Um, but like she's actually like the go-to Rhodian, it seems. And she's a Trandoshan and a bunch of other stuff. But she makes perfect sense to add to all of your cast photos and your posters.
And again, so this is not one that there's a specific figure for any of her specific Snivian or her specific Rhodian. They're not there, but this is where you could easily go with a custom, right?
Hmm.
If you get a black series, I did this for Dawn Denninger. Is This is the leftover where I've got Mark Luke's head on Greedo's body here because I took Greedo's head and put it on a Luke Skywalker X-wing pilot because there wasn't a
Yep.
character for her. So you could do the same here if you get a Snivian and carefully unbox and whatever, and you go and put the gold bikini on it, or you get a Greedo and you go with some orange paint instead of the large green. It's a super easy thing to do, and you got a little bit of time for Texas. It's possible.
Yeah, we have some time. I love a custom. I have several custom Masters of the Universe Classics action figures in my lineup. Um, yeah, I'm that guy. I'm holding up. Me, I can't. I'm still in like huge countdown mode for the Masters of the Universe movie. It's like, and as a licensee, it's feeling really, really real as my Halloween costumes are coming into focus. Um,
Uh,
yeah,
I
it's
might
good
have to
times.
bust out the classic He-Man Masters of the Universe costume that I have for this Halloween. Then, since the new
Oh,
one
you
will be
do, you have a classic one? Oh boy,
yes,
does it
I
have a
do.
full bodysuit built in? Like it
It
has to,
totally
right?
does. Has
Yeah,
to do it. It's the full.
yeah.
You got the full bodysuit, the X, the furry
Mhm.
bikini,
Yep.
and you've got the page boy wig.
Yeah, oh, yeah, you need the wig. So we do that one as well. We do the cartoon, and
It
we have the
actually
live
might
action
be.
coming. The
It
live
might
action
be.
doesn't have the furry underwear, so it's got a leather loincloth kind of thing. So it's a little more realistic looking, but ultimately, like the furry underwear is like I think like baked into the DNA of Masters of the Universe.
Yes, it
So
totally
yeah.
is. Well, it might be one from your company. It
It's
probably is.
certainly possible. You'll have to show
Okay.
me after.
Yeah.
I'm already preparing. Like, I'm going to be insufferable in 2026 between Supergirl and Masters of the Universe. And Shrek 5. Like, it is my year.
All
I'm
the
so
things.
excited. Yeah, all the things. Okay, Christopher Sean. Um, Possibly the best arms in all of Star Wars. Full stop. He
Well, other
plays.
than you.
Yeah, I mean, he's always trying to show me up with his slightly larger arms. It's like really embarrassing. So he will be there, huge as ever. As he played Kaz in Resistance, and he's also in Visions. And I
Yes,
want to
that's his
remind
character all
people,
the way at the bottom there in Visions.
yes, don't forget Visions. There aren't a lot of Visions people going to the show, and in fact, I didn't even put a slide in for Visions. But if you have Visions merch, Chris is in there, Sam Witwer's in there too, and a few others. But really, he's best known for Resistance, and there's actually several other people attending Rebel ScumCon that participated in Resistance. And that's obviously what he's best known for. He's also Nightwing in the Arkham video games, and he's Ultraman. So feel free to bring non-Star Wars stuff. You know,
Absolutely is. I have ordered an Ultraman figure. Is that
mhm,
they're beautiful. They're great. I also have the Resistance figure. It's relatively uncommon, but they
mhm.
did put out figures for Resistance. There's some beautiful Resistance posters as well.
Yes, the posters are really good for that show. We did trading cards. You know, we had a bunch of stuff for Resistance. I
Oh,
did
I
eight
have
by
that
10
cartoon
photos.
that tops the trading cards as well for
Mhm.
his character. That would be good.
Yeah, he's in. We put that character in a bunch of stuff too. We even put a bunch of the autographs from him and the main cast in Masterwork one year. So
Mhm.
the year they debuted, because I brought
Yeah,
all four of them to
there's a
Celebration.
card with the three main characters on the same autographs on the same card.
Mhm. I organized that because I brought four of them um, to Celebration, including Scott Lawrence and Myrna Velasco. Yeah, it was nice. And then it turns out like several other voice actors. I should say actually Donald Faison also is that's we brought him because he's like individually famous, but he was in Resistance. And Bobby Moynihan was in Resistance. He's also like just famous, right? And
All
so they're
right.
like, you have a lot of Resistance representation at the show. And I was like, well, we need something for the kids, but also like, who doesn't love Bobby Moynihan? People want to
Right.
get him signing pictures of him as George Lucas, and from the Force Awakens commercial. Like that's the kind of thing that like people know Bobby for. But Christopher Sean is like the nicest guy too. So please go meet him
Well, and
at
of
Boonta
course you
Eve.
can do father and son
Yes, because he's here at Nelson
as
Lee.
well.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. We've got the Gionos in the house. Yeah, and actually, he's our last person to announce there of the 12. So just to recap, we've got Diana Lee and Asanto, David Ankrum, Omid Abtahi, Fawn Davis, Anna Graves, and it is Anna. We went back and
Beautiful
forth on
Anna.
the pronunciation of her name. Anna Graves, love her. Taylor Gray, Nelson Lee, Marty Matulis, John Morton, Warren Pearl Jr., Pam Riddle, and Christopher Sean. So a nice mix of guests, some animation, some live action, some classic, a lot of new stuff, a lot of Mando. And the best part is they pair really well with all of the
Yes.
people going to Rebel Scum Con. We picked this list based on who is going to Rebel Scum Con, so they all make contextual sense. Diana goes with all the Mandos.
Yep.
Omid Abtahi with all the Mandos. David pairs with Dennis perfectly, but also there's lots
Absolutely.
of other fighter pilots.
Right. Several other fighter pilots as well.
Yeah, it's a nice mix. So that's the summary of Boonta Eve, and we've also did a prior episode on Boonta when we were first doing the announcements. So if you have any questions, obviously send us messages in the Facebook chat. But that's everyone who we're bringing to the show, and we just want to send a special thank you. We have several sponsors for the show, but I wanted to
Yeah.
call out Hyperspace Props because they've been with us many, many, many times, including most recently in Japan, and they are setting up at Boonta Eve. So
Yes, there
along
will be
with
some live sabacc games. There's a
yes.
room for that.
I have to play this time because I've only been able to observe because I've
Yes,
been microphone in hand, as you have been, working the
absolutely.
show. And I need to at least get some video footage of me learning how to play so we can do something for the channel because it's so fun. I mean, people were having such a good time they didn't want to stop. Like that'll like kick us out of Bigs. And they were like, break up the Sabak game, you need to leave.
Yeah. Yeah, and you can either have your own credits, as I've got, my bag of credits to play, but they will have ones there with you. You can get, wow, Hyperspace they make these nice heavy metal dice
Mhm.
and actual metal credits.
Yeah, the credits are beautiful.
They're
And
really
Mike will be there teaching us how to play and organizing the games. I believe there's two sabacc tables set up. It's a big. So the place we're going to, Revel, is big. We were actually just looking at the floor plan again the other day, figuring out who's all going where. And there's a nice amount of space, and there's outdoor space, and there's room for the band. We have live karaoke, live band
nice.
karaoke.
Live band karaoke.
That's a blast. So I'm excited to watch other people sing. There'll be drinks, full menu. They're open till 1 in the morning or whatever it is. Our
And we
event
have our
technically goes till
specialty
midnight.
drinks as well, as the liquid Schwartz and the wretched blue milk, all of the things that
Yeah,
you can generally expect from a Boonta Eve.
swag,
Swag.
merch, and most importantly, good company. Lots of people from the VCN will be attending. I've been getting messages in my DMs on Facebook um, telling me that, oh, I booked my flight. Oh, I'm going to be there. Can't wait to see you. What's your schedule looking like? We got to get together. So there's been a lot of that of like people who I don't always get to see in person, right? Like a lot of our relationships are very virtual, right? We see each other online. Maybe there's once a year, maybe you went to Celebration, maybe you went to the last family vacation. This is another opportunity to see the rest of the VCN family in person. All right, I'm going to start scrolling
Would
through.
be possible without.
Oh, sorry, Dave. I thought I lost you for a second.
Oh yeah, you did lose me for a second. None of this would be possible without our prime sponsor, is
Hmm.
VIP Home Theaters. You know, they're based in the Chicagoland area, but they'll consult with you, and they got different products that can help you out wherever. But if you are in the Chicagoland area, there's events coming up, and you can check them out more directly. And then we have all of our sponsors from all over, VIP, Art of Wigs, Galactic Pickers, Plum Askew, Long Live the Mouse, who puts out some really cool merch and stuff. Silbrookdale Candle Company, the Travelers Bazaar and Treasures, my MTA, the official international travel agency. If you're coming from to Boonta Eve from, Australia or all the places, which you totally can, my MTA will help you out. Um, Jennifer LaSalle, Andy's Boat Repair, and Mood, all of the places that can totally hook you up and get you ready for Boonta Eve.
And a few of those businesses are owned by members of the VCN, so we can vouch for the
Absolutely.
character of these people. It is very friends and family over here. In fact, like everyone, and by the way, thank you to all the people who are volunteering to help at Boonta Eve. We have handlers for the guests and line management and all sorts. And there's a whole team of us working behind the scenes to make sure you guys have a great time. We're so excited to be hosting all of you. Like we said, the VIP sold out like that. Tickets are moving fast on this event, and tickets are really picking up on the Rebel ScumCon side as well. So we're expecting good turnout for both of these events. I can't wait. I just can't wait to see everyone. I keep seeing on Instagram, like people are like, "Oh, I got my ticket for this," and I was like, "I know that person through 4 degrees of separation and just being a Star Wars
Yeah.
person," and I'm like, "I'm gonna meet you in person and hug you with consent." But yeah, I'm very excited for all of that. That's my big thing. Like I'm so excited to meet all these guests, but I really want to go see like the other people who I see on YouTube frequently and then don't get to really see in real life.
Yes.
All
That
right,
is
so we did this thing for you, for everyone in the chat who is probably building their autograph signing list. And I know that Dave and Spencer have done this in the past, where we've gone sort of slice of the franchise piece by piece and identifying who would make sense on your cast pieces. We already talked about each person individually coming to Boonta, and last week we talked about all the guests coming to Rebel Scum. So here are some poster ideas for you guys, for all the movies and TV shows. First one, of course, we're doing it chronologically, basically. So, A New Hope, the very first movie. There are several classic signers coming to Rebel Scum Con. Dennis Lawson, who we talked about at length earlier. Lauren Peterson, Roger Christian, the designer of the Youngling Slayer 3000. And then our Boonta Eve guest, we have David Ankrum, who pairs perfectly with Dennis Lawson, as well as Fawn Davis, who worked on the model
Mhm.
side. So there's good classic trilogy representation here, including the very first film.
Yeah, and I've seen when we did a con in Nashville, I've seen a couple of people out there that I know. I think Chris has a beautiful uh 24 by 36 original A New Hope poster that has a lot of the Luke, Leia, Han cast and stuff on it, and it's hundreds of signatures.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have them. This is a place to add.
Exactly.
Anytime you get a chance to see people from the OT, get them.
Yeah, exactly. Um, and with that, there's slightly more people for Empire Strikes Back. Dennis, Howie Weed, who plays the Wampa, and Richard Oldfield, who's again one of our fighter pilots. Red leader. Very nice. I'm so excited about the Wampa, uh, and also Howie is fantastic. And then we also have Fawn and John Morton. So your Boba
Yes.
Fett and your Dak Ralter, they all make a lot of sense to add to your Empire poster.
Yeah,
And then
John Simon,
return. Mhm.
Spin Boba.
Yeah, Besbin Boba. Dickie Beer is our Return of the Jedi Boba. He's not here at this show, but they all
No.
kind of own their particular slice of Boba. But then
Mhm.
on a Boba Fett helmet, put all of them, including Tamura
Absolutely.
and Daniel Logan, all your stunt guys, Mark Anthony Austin, that whole crew. You finally
Is
met Mark Austin, right?
Yeah, is I finally
Yeah.
got that, and I think mainly what I'm waiting for is like JJ Dashnaw. I'm waiting on.
Mm,
I need to get that as people who have played him more recently in the things. But I
yep.
do have Iad Elbatar, which is one of the stuntmen from Book of Boba
Yes.
Fett. So got that last summer. So
Yep.
it's getting close. It's
Good.
getting close, and I'm still on the search for a plaque that was signed by Jeremy Bullock.
Yeah, he did a good amount of trading cards and
Mhm.
8x10s, and it might even make sense to do an 8x10 framed within a thing to
Yeah.
pair it if you can't get a plaque specifically. Because he has a good amount of 8x10s just floating around, and if you put it in like a good frame, you can create a little destination for Boba. Um, yeah, they definitely do the circuit, for sure,
Absolutely.
most of these actors. Um, Return of the Jedi has the most classic signers appearing at the two events. Again, Dennis Lawson, Dermot Crowley, who plays one of the rebellion generals. Like I would say, I always call him like Mon Mothma's like compatriot. Um, Femi Taylor, who plays Ula, Lauren Peterson, Roger Christian, Stephen Constantino, who plays hmm?
Or so yeah, Constantino, the Gamorrean guard. There's
Maureen Guard.
there's uh pops, there's figures, vintage collection, all sorts of things.
Yep. Toby, who does Jabba. So much Jabba merch, can't even keep track. And of course, we have Fawn Davis on the Boonta Eve side. So you can build your posters. And then we have Phantom Menace. There's actually a good amount of prequel people coming to Rebel Scum Con, including Alan Rusco and Andy Secombe. Again, Lord Peterson's there. Matt Wood, who you will see on everything going forward. Just ask Matt if he's done it or not. He'll tell you.
Yeah.
Roger Christian and Fawn Davis yet again. Um, Not Sam Witwer. I made that mistake in the last one where I put Sam on here by
No,
mistake because I was thinking Maul.
not Sam. Is Maul's voice in this one would be Peter Serafinowicz, I believe,
Yes.
and Ray Park, of course, as the embodiment.
Yes.
Now there are places later where you can have Ray uh and
Sam
sorry, Sam, because Ray did a lot of the mocap for Clone
for
Wars.
Clone Wars. Yeah, the Clone Wars season 7, specifically the fight that happens in Siege of Mandalore. So the 4-part series finale. Ray Park and I think Lauren Marie Kim did the
Mhm.
mocap for that. For Maul and Ahsoka. So you can have a quad signed piece where it's Ray and Sam, so body and voice, and then Ashley Eckstein as Ahsoka and Lauren Marie Kim. That's a quad auto if I've ever seen one. Um,
Absolutely.
and then, of course, in the solo movie, Sam Witwer and Ray Park bring Darth Maul to life at the very end of the film for like a good 30 seconds. That confused many fanboy who had fallen out with Star Wars and didn't watch the cartoons, right? Like
Right.
everyone who was like, that guy died. And it's like, no one dies in Star Wars.
No,
So,
no one has ever
yeah.
really gone.
Oh, Spencer says he has that quad auto. Of course you do.
Of course he
So
does.
that's the kind of card I would have put together at Tops if I were still there. Like I was that guy. Okay, continuing with Attack of the Clones. Again, Alan Rusko, Andy Secombe, Lauren Peterson, Matt Wood, Rena Owen, who
Hmm.
was one of our clone makers, as it were, um, from Geonosis. And then Tux Akindione plays one of our Jedi. And then, of course, Von Davis. Let me move to the next slide. Revenge of the Sith. Slightly larger list with Lorne, Aiden Barton, who plays Baby
Yes.
Luke and Leia, Matt Wood.
Yes.
Yes, you got to get. I mean, there's like a shockingly large number of Aiden Barton merchandise.
Like really, there's at least three of this style. There's a dual pack that has Luke and Leia and a comic book in it.
Mhm,
So I mean, baby Luke and Leia Aiden Barton merch. There's at least like five, I think, that I know of.
mhm. Yeah, it's crazy. Um, we also have Rena Owen as a different character this time around. Ross Beedman, the youngling himself who gets slayed by Anakin, and Tux, and then Fawn Davis. I'm excited to meet everyone, but I have to meet Ross Beedman.
Uh huh.
Um, yeah, he's on my must meet list. I already got to meet Aiden. Um, And then there's not a lot of new trilogy representation, but this is when you'll start seeing David W. Collins pop in on just about everything. He worked sound
Yeah.
on these new movies along with Matthew Wood. Same thing for Last Jedi. Rise of Skywalker, we've got David and Matt, but also Sam Witwer has additional voices in there, and and Dennis Lawson actually reappears as Wedge. Um, and people clapped, I
Oh,
guess.
completely. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look, we love Dennis Lawson, but this movie's terrible. So I don't know if I would waste my signature on this poster, but get him to sign something else. Yeah. Because Dennis
Absolutely.
is great. It's not his fault the movie's bad. That happens sometimes. We all watch a lot of sci fi. There's a lot of bad sci fi out there. This happens to be a bad one. It's all right, though. We have Rogue One with David W. Collins, Fawn Davis, and Matt Wood. There's actually not a lot of Rogue One, but there's a lot of Andor.
Yeah.
Solo, again, David Collins, Matt Wood, and of course, we already mentioned Sam Witwer coming back as Maul. And then here we go, Mando.
Woo!
I'm telling you, this is the time to start your Mando piece. I'm going to grab
Yeah.
my poster if you want to look at the names, Dave.
Yeah, absolutely. You can go and you can grab your poster. There's so many things you can do for the Mando, though. You've got Katie Sackhoff as Bo Katan, Chris Bartlett, all the droids, Emily Swallow, the armor, Simon Cassanides, which is, not necessarily a night owl, but Mandalorian Tate Fletcher, the heavy Mando. Matt Wood and David W. Collins, of course, in sound is Diana Lee Inosanto. You got Diana for Fawn worked on this. Marty's in this. Omid, Pam Riddle as all the Rhodians and the Snivians and the Warren is in there as well. That's a huge piece right there.
Yeah.
Right,
Well,
you get your poster like Mark
I feel like
has.
should we go full screen for a second? I don't know if that's going to help, but like I've got.
Let's see if I can make you.
Actually, don't worry about it. I got Chris Bartlett
Oh,
over
oh,
there. All right, there's Chris Bartlett. Here's Emily. And there's Lauren Marie Kim, who we were talking about earlier. And then I have Dr. Pershing over here. This was all at Rhode Island Comic Con one time 2 years ago or whatever it was. And I didn't bring this with me to the family vacation last year. So I have to bring this to Texas and start filling out this poster because it is severely lacking. Like, I mean, I got 4 excellent people who I know very well, but I've had the opportunity to meet several others, including Katie, who I put on my Rebels poster, and I just didn't bring my Mando poster with me. So now is the time, guys. I'm bringing my Mando poster. I'm recommending that you guys all do the same or go buy a helmet from Denuo Novo, whatever works for you. Like, let's do
absolutely.
that
It's
too.
like
Yeah.
they could all fit so many of those on a helmet.
Yeah. Oh yeah, helmet would be great for this.
And the beautiful helmets, the Mando helmet that the Nuo Novo puts out is absolutely beautiful finish on it. And you get a black paint marker on that on
Hmm.
that silver, and
Yep. Emily to sign in gold. Simon to sign in that bright night owl blue. Yeah, he's not
absolutely,
quite a night owl, but he's like the boyfriend or best friend of the night owls.
yeah.
He's definitely aligned with them, with Katie and Mercedes. But yeah, this is the go-to right here. Like, this is the time to start your Mando piece.
Yeah, is perfect. That poster right there that Mark has displayed, you can do both. You can do silver around the dark spots at the top and the bottom, and you can do like black signatures in the middle and in the sun. Um, all sorts of cool ways to do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And of course, you
All right.
can do what
I'm
he
gonna go to the
mentioned.
next
Is what I'm
batch.
doing on my Clone Wars piece. Is I have everybody sign in the different colors that's more appropriate to their characters. It's like sign in lightsaber colors. Sam Witwer's in a
Yep.
red, and
Oh yeah, he's always got to be red for sure. We also have a good number of Book of Boba Fett people, and that's because there's a
Mhm.
lot of overlap with Book of Boba Fett and Mando. So Chris Bartlett, Emily Swallow, Sam Witwer, Ty Fletcher, David W. Collins, and Matthew Wood. They also all work on Mando. So you could do both. You could bring both posters. We have Fawn Davis, Pam Riddle, and Warren Pruill Jr. So nice mix of people here for Book of Boba Fett. I also think a Boba Fett helmet from the Boba Fett
Yep,
show, which we don't
that
make. That's
totally
not one of
works.
ours. That would be a good one to get, like, add all those
And
people
there's
on there.
more than one helmet that's appropriate to the Book of Boba Fett show because you can have the distressed one, You
Hmm.
know, the Out of the Sarlacc pit one, or they also make the Earl Shive, the repainted, that, for
Yep.
9.95. You know, that
I
one.
like that one. It's a beautiful
It is,
helmet.
and it works very nice. It's a beautiful helmet. It's super appropriate to the Boba Fett show. You
Hmm.
don't have to quite worry as much about the different areas of it being, oh, this is going over green and the gold and the silver that's underneath. It's pretty green, so you can
Hmm.
get a silver looks amazing on that.
Yeah. I always struggle with because I would want my Boba Fett to sign in green, but they're usually signing something that is green. This is
Hmm.
the eternal struggle, and then it's the type of quality of pen. And we have some pen stuff coming up. We're gonna
Yeah,
actually talk accoutrements and equipment at the end of the show, and we're making our way through. So moving on then to Ahsoka again, Chris Bartlett, who we should point out, Chris Bartlett is not at an autograph table. He is at Order 66 Toys. So you can find him there at their booth at the show.
right.
So not on the floor proper. And yeah, he's there with C. Andrew Nelson and with Eric Walker. Eric Walker, of course, best known for his roles in the Ewoks movies, and C. Andrew Nelson is one of their like PR Vaders.
PR
So
Vader, yeah.
if you've seen Vader in real life, you might have seen him. Um, on the Ahsoka side, we've got Chris, Sam Witwer, David Collins, Matt Wood, and then of course Diana Lee and Asanto. I would call her like a lead in the Ahsoka show, along with
Okay.
Nelson Lee and Warren Pruill Jr. So Diana and Nelson are like the two main antagonists of the show. They will be there.
Yes.
Um, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Weirdly, I think Warren Pruill Jr. is the most significant autograph on here because he is the stand-in for Obi-Wan. And of course, there's Chris and David and Matt and Pam Riddle. So if you're working on Obi-Wan, you can help fill out that poster. And then Skeleton Crew, like I mentioned earlier,
Yes.
multiple
So many.
pirates. Yeah. Marty gets added to Dominic Burgess, who I love from The Magicians. I talked at length about that last week. Jacob Roanhouse, Mike Estes, and again Matt Wood and David W. Collins. What aren't they doing? You know what they're not doing. David W. Collins didn't work on Rebels. I can't believe it. I like triple checked, and I was like, that
Wow.
can't be true. He was working on other projects, so he just never
Ah.
worked on Rebels. I like fully thought he was part of Rebels because I was like, oh, he's in there. No, it's David Accord who's all over Rebels, but and Matt Wood, but not David W. Collins.
Hmm.
I know. Um, and then the most recent live action show,
And of course, we
Andor.
didn't mention Marty for that one as well. Marty the Pirate Vein.
Yes, please add him to. Yep, we got him as our Boonta Eve guest. Add
It's
him
there.
to the. Yes, add him to your pirate crew. And then for Andor, we've got Kyle Solar, who is only there for Saturday. So um, be ready. I think he's going to have a
Yeah.
line. I think he may have a chance of selling out. I would call him like the headliner of the show, along with Katie Sackhoff. And this is his first U.S. appearance. So Kyle's going to be. He's going to have a line. I think if you're going to meet Kyle Solar, bring multiple pieces.
Right.
Like get him. Assume you're going to see him now and hardly ever. And then Piero, Neil, me, and Robert M's also Imperials from Andor, along with Sam Witwer and Matt Wood. So there's enough people here that you could really get an Andor piece going.
Good start. And there are others that are on the circuit as well that you can get. So it'll fill out.
Yeah, absolutely. Moving then into Clone Wars, Katie Sackhoff, of course,
Yes.
and Anna Graves, Omid Abtahi, who we mentioned earlier, and of course Matt Wood and Sam Witwer.
Yes. And surprisingly, I've been doing that one for a while, and I need people on that. I need
Hmm.
Omid. I need Matt Wood. At both of those.
You
Like
need
that's
Anna.
my
Oh, you met
list.
Anna, right?
Yeah, I met Anna.
Yep.
I specifically went to a con to go, and I took that and got that done there.
Excellent. See, I've got to put her on my Rebels poster coming up. Bad Batch, we have
Mm,
great representation. Michelle Ang, who's the lead of the show. Omega. Are you going to wear a dad batch or a beard batch? It's
beard
beard
batch.
batch. Yeah,
Yeah, beard batches. There are multiple ones. I may have to
yeah.
throw that, though. I don't know the one with Spencer's face on her body. I don't know.
It's not great. Um, but yeah, Michelle is wonderful. We got to spend some good quality time with her at Rhode Island last year. She'll be there along with Matt Wood, Gwendolyn Yo, David W. Collins, Noshir Dalal, who's also in the Jedi Survivor game, Rena Owen, and Sam Witwer. So you could really get some good Bad Batch momentum here. And D is usually on the circuit as well. And once you have Michelle and D, Everyone else just fills it out. Like those are the
Yeah,
two
and
that
that
you need
that
desperately.
beautiful Disney Plus poster is there. The thing about doing a helmet for Bad Batch is you have to choose which, right?
Yeah.
You have to choose your clone, and
Hmm.
I've got my crosshair over there because
Yep.
that's my person.
He's
But
my favorite too.
you could do it on any of them. You could do a Bad Batch on absolutely any of them. I think probably the most iconic one of it that is probably a Wrecker.
Yeah.
But you do it on any.
Yeah. Or just a clone trooper in general. And you can make it
Exactly.
Clone Wars / Bad Batch. It could just be that time period.
Yeah.
All right, my favorite slice of the fandom, Rebels, which you guys have seen my poster enough times. I don't need to show you again. But Katie Sackhoff, Matt Wood, and Sam Witwer will be there. And then we have on our side the Boonta Eve guests, Taylor Gray. And don't forget that Anna Graves did 2 episodes. So while you're getting your Clone Wars stuff, or if you're putting her on a Mandalorian helmet, if you have a Rebels piece you're working on, which that's the poster I have, she gets added as well. And of course, Katie and Anna, anything you want to do related to Clone Wars with the two of them, the sisters Kreese, makes a lot of sense. We also have some more animation with Resistance, and Christopher Sean, who's the lead of the show, will be at Boonta Eve. We also have several other people who worked on Resistance: Matt Wood, David W. Collins, Sam Witwer, and Gwendolyn Yo is in an episode as well. I just happened to catch that as I was going. I told you I was going one by one through every person last night, double checking. And sometimes, if you do one episode, like Billy D. Williams is in a Rebels. At some point, I have his autograph on other things. I've got to put him on my Rebels poster, and Ian McDermott and all these other people who have like popped in once. If you're going to meet Gwendolyn, you may as well get her to sign your Resistance stuff too.
Oh, absolutely. It is, and like I said, those resistance posters are great. There's another one I think that's a similar kind of pose with like a bright blue sky behind it, and very nice posters for that.
Yeah, I like the
And
art style of that show. It's beautiful.
mhm.
And then Force Unleashed, which is Sam Witwer's probably at this point second best known character, with Star Killer. Um, and of course, not canon anymore, but they're touting a dual photo of Sam and David because David did one of the other voices in the video game as well. So they're there for a Force Unleashed picture. I looked to see if anyone else, like Matt or David or someone, had worked on, or Matt or anyone else had worked on this, but it was just the two of them. Still worth mentioning because I think Sam is now so tied to Maul that some people probably forget he was even Starkiller, which is crazy.
Oh yeah. Well, and you can tell like that looks so much like Sam.
Yeah, I was like, they cast the perfect person for sure. And then in the video game, continuing in the video game space, Jedi Survivor, Nashir Dalal has a huge role in this game, and Matt Wood, Sam Witwer, and David Collins all did voices in here, or worked on sound, or both. Yeah, you can start a Jedi Survivor poster as well, and I know Cameron Monaghan has done some appearances,
Mhm.
and there's a number of voice actors who contributed to this game from like the standing list of Star Wars um, regulars. Don't forget about Jedi Survivor. I'm sure Nashir will have stuff at his table, since his 2 big things are Survivor and Bad Batch. And we then wanted to talk a little bit about some of the things you could get signed outside of posters. So Dave, you seem to be the king of signed helmets.
I try and do that. Is I have them all over the place, and the things is I have this particular stormtrooper helmet. I haven't started that as a cast piece. I love to do my Clone Wars. Is I have a clone trooper helmet, and this is not an expensive helmet that I have. Okay, I have the vintage. I think it's Kenner even, or maybe even before Hasbro, but it's the vintage clone trooper helmet. It was made for kids to wear, and it's got kind of the voice thing. It makes a great cast piece to get signed. You get a nice paint marker that here we'll talk about
Hmm.
those that are celebrating autos swag. These are a great marker. They're actually just a specialty branded of my particular version. I like these heroic, I can't even pronounce it, but these are really good markers. Decos work really well as well. I haven't used the Sharpie paints as much to really get there, but any kind of oil based paint marker sticks amazingly on a helmet. You really want it to be permanent. I would not just use a Sharpie. Don't do it. But I choose that on a lot. This is my Boba Fett bucket that I'm trying to get all of the living Boba Fett's on. I started with Tamora Morrison right there at Celebration Anaheim. Got all of them over here on the side. Mark was alluding to earlier, the elusive Mark Anthony Austin. It took a while to get there, and he's got even like the little Boba Fett sketch that he puts on there with it.
Yeah,
But
he's an artist first and foremost.
yeah, he's so many beautiful Boba Fett signatures for all of these people. Glenn Randall Jr. on there. They're all over the place. Daniel Logan has a lovely little signature right there as well. He's got the other key. So helmets are great if you're just doing like a character that many people have played, or they work for cast pieces for shows. You saw earlier, I started this helmet. Sorry, this is not the De Novo Mars.
That's
the
okay.
Black Series. I already owned this one. Started that with Brendan Wayne. I don't think I'm going to do this as a whole cast piece. I think I'm only going to do this as people who have actually worn the helmet, actual Din Djarans.
Okay. So there's 3 people or 4, right?
So, we've got Brendan Wayne, who is the gunslinger.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be looking for Lateef Crowder, who does a lot of the flipping and the fighting and the things like that.
He's legitimately the stunt guy.
Barry Lowen, who's kind of generally like the pilot, that sort of thing. Pedro, at some point, the voice. And then you can look at whether or not you go down the rabbit hole to like JJ Dashnall, again, who's the stunt coordinator and has put on the helmet for specific stunts and things. So plenty of people out there, and that's the people to date. You never know where this is going to go down the road.
And this brings up the fundamental question of like, how do you collect autographs? Like, is this Mando helmet for people who play the character of the Mandalorian, or is it representative of the entire show or a season of the show? Like, absolutely. I know people who are like, well, I'm working on a Mando season 1 poster. And I was like, I'm working on the Mandalorian if you were near it. Like, it's a very different, did you contribute? Were you on set one day? Yeah, put your name on there too. That's fine. Because I'm not in the flipping and I'm not precious about it. I think because I've been in the autographing space for so long, like it's felt less serious to me at this point where I'm like, it should just be fun and I should just enjoy it. And I'll add people who I want to. And more so than even if it makes the most sense. Like I kept saying for the longest time, I was going to start my own Clone Wars piece. And I was like, you know what? The Rebels poster has so much overlap. I'm just going to put Matt and everyone else who's really more of a Clone Wars person onto Rebels and make it one giant thing. Maybe I'll start a second one eventually, but let's keep it rolling on Rebels. Like Matt Lanter is one of my largest autographs on the Rebels poster, which doesn't really make a lot of sense, but he's on top of Vader. So great. Well, so it's all about how you want to do it.
And it's all about, your experience with those people as well.
Yeah.
Is you're having a good conversation with Matt and he's like, Skip talks about one of his where, he's got a war between Matt and James over who signs in the high ground.
Mm-hmm. Yep, exactly. You got to put James over Matt, etc. Yeah.
And then this slide has figures as well. I love getting figures signed.
Mm-hmm.
There's a beautiful Billy D. Williams. I love, choosing the different styles, the different colors that you want. Billy D. Williams in that blue that his shirt color tends to be.
Oh yeah, that's a great color, and gold. He always signs in gold, especially when it came to the new trilogy timing. He was always wearing that bright yellow, so his agent always had for him like paint pens that were bright yellow and gold.
Yeah, and here's the thing. You can choose from what they have on their table, or you can bring your own.
Mm-hmm.
I happen to find I had some stuff, but Manny Jacinto, when I saw him at MegaCon Orlando on this Chimera Pop, he had a gorgeous thick red deco marker
Hmm.
that worked super well. I love that. Then I got at this point this one, like he had that one right here. I saw Jaleel White at one point, who you
Mm.
could get on your skeleton crew,
Yep.
right? Jaleel was one of the pirates, but this is him on an Urkel pop. The God
Love it.
Eat Cheese in your gold. So sometimes they have it, but sometimes if you want something super specific, you're going to want to bring that with you. I like Jar Jar in like this lovely kind of light purple, this lilac that
Hmm.
really represents kind of the energy shield from the Gungans.
Yeah, I was gonna say
I
that's
think
the
that
purple.
stands out really well. I like that because I've seen him multiple times. This one shows up in person, but is really kind of crappy on screen. Like you see this, there's um uh a, a gold Sharpie there that I had done on this one. And it's fine and it's great, but I probably should have gotten him to stick with the purple. I think it would have shown up better that I like. But then again, see this from this particular large figure doesn't have any of that purple in it,
Mm.
you know. So you choose,
Yeah, you
and
might want
sometimes
him in
you live and
green
you
or
learn.
something.
If
Yeah.
there's something specific you want, you bring it with you. You
Yes.
pick all over the place.
And this is where it comes back to planning and organization. I think I said last week, make yourself an Excel file, write down all the names, write down their prices, figure out what you want to get signed, figure out on your cast piece. If we scroll back, like maybe you're bringing a poster for the Bad Batch. You
Yeah.
know, figure out where on that poster you want everyone to sign. Put little post-it notes. Bring the colors of the ink that you want, like the types of pens. We're going to talk about that on the next slide. Plan that ahead of time. Obviously, be willing and capable of making game time decisions to make changes. Sometimes people cancel. Sometimes new people show up. Sometimes they don't have the pen color you want, or you think it's going to work and it doesn't. Like I have one really bad signature on my Rebels poster that I wish I could just redo, but now it's a story, and it's like, well, that's the shitty signature down in that corner. Let's work around it. Like that happens.
Yeah.
So you just have to sort of roll with it. But be prepared. Bring the stuff you want. Have backups too. Like I'm gonna bring my uh, action figure for Taylor. I'm gonna try to figure out how to make this ghost work. So that's still my go-to because if I can get him to sign it, I might put Nelson on there too. um,
That would be great. And
oh,
you'll see the other people ahead in there.
yep. Chris has a question.
Okay.
Dave, where do you get your cases for props um, and what is
So
BS?
for
Yeah,
the pops in the Black series.
Black Series. Yes, there we go.
So pop cases are super easy. You can order them directly from Funko. These are legitimate pop cases. These are available for $10 ish at Walmart.
Hmm.
So these pop cases are everywhere, all over the place. Now, when you're getting cases for the Black Series, you got to look. There are places online. There are many different ones. I don't have a specific go-to all the time, but what you have to watch out for is cases specifically fitted to the Black Series that you're getting, because this Jar Jar is bigger. This is
Oh,
bigger than all the other ones. This case, because he's got that energy shield and stuff, is a wider case. He does not fit in any other one. You have to have it's him and like one other person, right? Yes, I put my BS all over the VCN all the time, Spencer. That's the thing. But like I haven't gotten right now, I haven't gotten a case for this one, this beautiful uh one that I have for Skeleton Crew, because you notice no angle on this box. So this takes a different one.
hmm.
So, many websites out there, like I said, I get them. I go back and forth from different places, so I don't have a specific one that I recommend for that. But I do recommend not getting just these. I use these cases. So this is the thin plastic, like folding ones. I don't love these. I don't like to keep them in these all the time. because if this, gets dropped and smushed, it's gonna take a thing. The other ones you really need. Now, here's a thing and a story that I'll tell you on this one. If you're going to get them and put them in a case immediately to travel with in your suitcase, you need to bring some tissue paper or something to put in between the signature and the case. Otherwise, that motion in your suitcase or your carry-on or whatever is going to smudge it up. I've got one back here somewhere. Let's see if I can access it. It's Emily Swallow. That, if you'll see, she was in a case. I got this signed in Anaheim, and you see how the and this is the way is just kind of schmutzed up. That's just from rubbing in the container, even though it was in this protection. So protect your protection. Is if you're paying this much, and especially if you've got like a cast piece or you've got a huge cover your autos with a Post-it sometimes. Absolutely. Yeah. The new nice acrylic ones, Chris, is like message me on the Facebook Messenger, and I'll see if I can track down one of those websites. There's a particular website sometimes that has, it's for this figure or this figure. It lays them out. So we can get that hooked up, but you gotta protect this, all of this investment. I use, I think, star cases. If I were to have something like this Mark Hamill that we're on there, star case, they're kind of a lighter weight. This is a ProTech case that I have for a specific figure. See how they're all sorts of different sizes because of the different cards and the different bubbles. So
that's it. You have to think about the bubble too. So you can't even go online and just be like, oh, this is a 4x6 card or something.
Dude.
It's like, well, how thick is the you got to get the height, width, depth kind of thing.
Like this for the Hallmark itty bitties. This is specifically made, this plastic one, for Hallmark itty bitties because it's got little ledges in there for the card back that hold it nice and flat. So every single one, you've got to find exactly that shape and size. And like I said, you can get the hard ones. You can get, for some of your other figures, they have these that are hard plastic but a little bit thinner. Now we're getting down the rabbit hole. It can't go anywhere without hawking the track, right? So this one, again, what is this? This is called toyshield.com. So,
and I think the quick answer is Google, right? Like, what's the best plastic protective case for your specific item? It'll direct you to what website has that size and shape to match. There's plenty of Star Wars collecting fan sites that deal specifically with this. And Dave, tell everyone how you transport your helmets.
So for Rebel ScumCon, it's going to be difficult. I'm going to have more than one, but I have a red fleece-lined motorcycle helmet that I can just wear as like a crossbody bag.
Oh, did I lose Dave? Did your audio drop? It might have. Oh, you're back?
Okay, maybe I'm back now.
There we go. Okay,
so
that's better. It was glitching for a second. I heard most of that though.
Okay, yeah. So I do. I have a crossbody bag it's a motorcycle helmet, fleece lined bag, and they fit in there very nicely. Before I had that, if you don't have that specifically, I took a thicker, heavy, like 55-gallon vinyl trash bag, the thick ones, the like lawn waste ones, and put that over top of my helmet, and then pad it with my clothes and different things in my suitcase. So many different ways, but you don't want the signatures rubbing on something directly. So having that fleece
Hmm.
line, the helmet bag, or having the trash bag as well is super helpful.
Yeah, I think that's a great like hack for how to transport all this stuff, especially if you're bringing a lot of product down to
Yeah.
Texas.
The
Packing, I'm
helmet
sure this can
bag
be
works
stressful.
really nice as your personal item on the plane.
Hmm.
You can fit at least one helmet in like a standard size carry-on, padded very nicely.
Hmm.
So there's two helmets for you right there that you get to bring with you.
Yeah, and then just put all your clothes, ship that via UPS to the hotel.
Well,
That's
you
fine.
can do
You
that,
buy new
or
clothes at the
again,
Walmart.
it's a
Yeah,
helmet. Your
yeah,
t-shirts and your socks and underwear
yeah,
can go inside of that helmet,
yeah. Wrap it around.
and then the rest of it is padding around it so it's not bouncing around.
Perfect. We also wanted to hit everyone with a little bit of, the other accoutrements and equipment that you need for the show, poster tubes,
Yes.
the notebooks. What is it? I always want to call it the Ayatollah. What is the actual name of the
It is called
plastic
an Itoya. Itoya
Ayatollah?
art
Yeah.
portfolio. I recommend you having more than one of these,
Hmm.
right? Is because you don't want to transport, like I keep this, it's acid free, it's nice. It's where I keep all of the ones that I have in it, but this is like, my home one that is storing these. I
Hmm.
have another one that I will bring on the road with me that will have just the stuff that I'm getting signed that trip. So, you can have that. You can also kind of roll some of your stuff in your poster tube as well. I would separate it, wait till these things super dry before you put it in any of them.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, Nilda talked about having a little personal fan with her to like
yes.
fan autographs to dry fast. Which, by the
Hmm.
way, it's Texas. Bring all the fans. You're gonna need it. It's gonna be 1,000 degrees, you guys. That's the one drawback to this location. It is 115 today, so we'll
Oh,
see.
woo,
Now, I don't
Texas.
know what it really is, but it's gonna be hot. So,
Yeah.
I think especially with autographs and things you don't want smudging, a little mini personal fan would be ideal for this type of environment
Yeah.
and comfortable
Absolutely.
clothes.
And if you're going to have, comic books or magazines, you're going to want to have some little page protectors that you put those in. I'm bringing this one to have signed. Ooh, I could do that again. It's like that could be a multiple signature because look what
Love
that.
that. Yeah. Oh,
But
as I'm dropping things over here.
oh yeah, you have those, or anytime you're getting any sort of, oh, there's more coming. You know, oh, why on earth do I not have this one in a bag yet? You get this signature and you're going to want a bag and a board. Sometimes you're going to want some of the
Hmm.
hard-sided ones, but at least have that kind of protection ready to put them back in. I also like the box that comic book boards come in. You buy a whole thing of these, save that box, because guess what? It's just the right size to put your whole stack of comics in.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then it can go in your con bag. You know, many people you I have like a tactical military type backpack that I put everything in. It's got all sorts of different pouches. It's got clips on the side. Like I have a little clips that I can clip my poster tube to the side of it and be super annoying when I'm walking around in lines and smacking people. It's great. When you're doing a smaller con, you can get away with something like this, your virtual cantina drawstring bag. This was our swag bag at our
Hmm.
last event. So I used that one. I brought this one to the con with Anna Graves. So that was the one I was carrying at that one.
Yeah, I like a duffel. And I usually have my notebook that it's like a hard plastic that clasps with the pages on the inside. So
Mhm.
similar to the I Toya,
Yeah,
where you got your
you
pages.
can make
Yeah.
your own Itoya. It would be
Yep.
what this would be going for. You've got your page protectors here.
Yep.
Those just clip into a 3-ring binder. The Itoya I like because it's archival and I can leave them in there forever and not worry about it. Like I would use what you're talking about, the 3-ring and these page protectors, as a temporary go to the con one. and
Yep.
then bring them back and put them in your archival one. So, yeah, lots of different markers, pens. Have your paint pens. You can have your Sharpies that are appropriate for certain things and stuff. You can rely on what they have at the con, but if you want the certain colors, like literally have your own. Like, this is my bag.
hmm You
This
have a
comes.
lightsaber blue, a lightsaber green, a lightsaber red. I feel like those are standard.
I have a
And then,
lightsaber purple. I have a
yep,
bronze. I have
you need a
white,
gold and a silver.
gold, silver, yellows, um, multiple like oranges, different
hmm
things for everyone. There's so
And I
know
think
what
in the case of Boba Fett, you'll want a specific green. Like there are
you're.
definitely custom colors. I
Yeah,
think most of the actors are pretty good about having a selection at the table, but Dave is 100% correct that you should never assume they're going to have what you need. So I think it's worth the investment to buy a paint pen or whatever brand you prefer. And we can put that in the chat too for everyone. We're going to actually re-air
yeah,
a celebrating autographs next week while I'm at San Diego Comic Con. The one that's more specific to the equipment
yes.
for autograph planning, so everyone can get a deep dive into all of this kind of stuff. Because I for the longest time never used the Itoya um, plastic holders like the portfolio, but so many people would talk about it. I was like, what the hell are these people talking about? Because I always just slipped them into little plastic in a 3-ring binder, and then when I got home I would either frame them or whatever, as long as it's acid free. But like, people love these books, so got to get them.
Well, and that, and the fact that here's a lot of people, and I've learned this since I've been doing this show, the celebrating autographs. This is originally celebrating autographs with Frank Rich. Is that you may not even want to. You've invested so much in this. If you get a Mark Hamill, if you get a Harrison Ford, if you get a Samuel L. Jackson, displaying that, simply putting that out on display is hurting it, right?
hmm Yeah, the
You know,
light and
is
everything.
a
Yeah.
lot of people store everything in their iToyas,
hmm
get a good copy and print a picture of that, and
It's
that's what goes on your
crazy.
frame on your wall.
When I heard that, I've heard that in other places too,
Yeah,
like other autograph collecting groups. I was like, there's a level of um, enjoy the stuff you have because you can't take it with you, that I think
mhm,
we all need to start internalizing. Like, unless you plan on selling that thing and are really worried
right.
that like the light in your house is going to severely devalue this autograph, please display your autograph. um, that's why my stuff is like my Mando poster. Like, this poster itself, the poster itself already has like dinged edges, and it's
Yeah.
like not it's like it's in a B plus kind of shape. But like, you know most of these say to Mark. It is not getting eBayed unless there is a man named Mark out there who loves Star Wars as much as I do.
Well, which there
um
are, and there are people who
yeah,
know a thing and know different ways to remove that
sure,
personalization.
yeah.
So
Oh, I had a whole
personalization or not,
conversation about that
that's
too.
a whole
Yeah,
other topic. Is I
yeah.
don't get mine personalized simply because they are going to live with me until I am dead. But as soon as I'm in the ground, my wife is going to start, hopefully,
Mhm. She's
hopefully she will.
already selling stuff out from under you without you knowing. I'm looking at that room; it gets smaller every day.
It's
um
possible. You never know. But hopefully she's at least going through like one of you who knows the true value of these
mhm.
to get these. Hopefully she'll
Yeah.
go.
I'm
But that
definitely not helping her on that front and taking a cut. Um,
but I also tell all the signers who, a lot of signers are leery of no personalization because they're like, you're just gonna put this on eBay. I'm like, no, I have two daughters.
yeah.
Okay. I don't know which one of them would want which thing.
hmm
One of my daughters I know is the big Jar Jar fan, so she was going
Okay.
to take all of the Jar Jar autographs. But I don't know who's going to end up with what, and I want it to hold value for them or be something that they would choose to display. So
Yeah.
I generally don't get things personalized, except the very rare occasion. Like, I'm a huge Larry Hama fan, so I've got a number of Larry Hamas that are just like to Dave or whatever, or somebody,
hmm
or if somebody gifts me one, I'm not being picky. You know,
Yeah.
if
Oh no,
somebody's, yeah,
I'm doing 90% of my collection personalized, basically, unless they're charging extra money for it or whatever. And um, I'm
or the other thing is if
yeah,
you're doing a cast piece and you're saving the room, you don't want those necessarily
yeah,
personalized.
Yeah,
because
weirdly on my Rebels poster, I think like 20% of the space is like "Thank you, Mark" or "To Mark," because I got a lot of them signed at Celebration, like in the green room with
yeah,
people I was like actively working with. So, but that one also is that's another labor of love. Like I'm gonna sell that for tens of dollars if it ever flipped, right? Because to some other guy named Mark. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
uh,
Most of them are there.
yeah. Um, yeah, I think
No,
we're
never, ever, ever am I spraying or putting a clear coat over any of the items because I am A, may add something else to it. B, don't have the experience to know what that poly coat is going to do. And I full well know that there's so many different plastics and so many different markers types that will react differently with different poly coats. And where I worry about yellowing and all of the things, like to keep it dust free or something, like I said, is I try and get most everything eventually. I mean, it sits here for a while on my work table without. I try and get them in some sort of plastic case, but no, I never try and put any sort of coating on the actual item. I told a story, I think it was last week when we were talking about I attempted to like make my Millennium Falcon just the top the top piece that comes off. I tried to put some clear resin on it, and it was an absolute nightmare. Is
mhm,
the resin escaped the pour, right, and it got all over the table that I was pouring it on, and it actually ruined that top piece of the Falcon. Now I had bought another one. It was a second. It was a burner one. Like I'd gotten one off of a crappy Falcon to do it, to test it. So no, I
mhm. I agree. I've seen because here's the thing: people think the polycoat will prevent the scratching or scraping or the autograph from falling out or falling off. Usually, the ink clings to that, and so if it gets scraped, the ink comes off with it. It's actually not creating a barrier for
yeah.
protection. If anything, it is potentially degrading the autograph itself, depending on what you use. And I'm no expert in this space, but I've seen it go badly more times than I guess I've only seen the bad stories, right? Those are the
Right.
ones that people talk about, but it seems pretty bad. I wouldn't recommend doing it. Um, yeah, I mean, just try not to drop it. I know
Yeah,
that
I
sounds so
mean,
stupid.
there are things is like in my usual real day to day as an art teacher, there are sprays and things that you can put over a pencil artwork to keep from smearing. Like if you got a pencil sketch from an artist, yeah, there are totally sprays that you can put over that to protect. They're
Yeah.
proven, right? But none of which still work quite as well as getting it in the iToya or getting it in a nice frame with an acid free mat, and that mat just keeps it that eighth or 16th of an inch off of the contact with the glass or anything else. So zero contact with any other surface is really the best way to protect your autographs, in my opinion.
Yep. And I keep dropping this one thing. This poor thing is not going to be in shape to get signed. Uh, like I said, we're going to re-air a prior celebrating autographs where we go through exactly this type of
Yeah.
content, what type of ink pens to use, what type of equipment to travel with, how to protect your autographs, all of that kind of stuff. So, um, but that is everything for this week's show. So just once again, wanted to say thank you to all of our sponsors, especially VIP Home Entertainment, who's our premier sponsor. Everyone else who has contributed to making Boonta Eve possible. We're so excited to see you guys in a few weeks. And of course, if you want to support the channel year round, the best thing you can do for us is to go to our T Public store, check out all of our t-shirts and other merch. We will be adding new types of merch soon. We're actually talking about that for 2026. But there's a nice array of t-shirts for all the shows, including Clone Wars Revisited, Rebels Revisited. We've got all sorts of fun stuff on there.
And you can get all
And
that
yeah,
stuff in stickers and coffee mugs
yeah,
and tank tops and hoodies
mhm.
and baseball tees, all
Yeah,
the
there's a
things.
lot of great stuff. I own
Hats.
plenty of sleeveless shirts. And of course, follow all of our social channels on Instagram, Facebook. Remember to share the Facebook page. We are very close to 100,000 fans. Getting ready to do our giveaway for 99,000, which is fantastic. And then we'll be on our way to 100 very soon. I think it's going to happen I feel like it's going to happen when we're in Texas because we don't
Yeah,
have enough
all
going
those,
on. Yeah.
absolutely.
I think that's everything for this week.
That is all. Thank you
Yeah.
guys so much for watching, and check out all of our other content. If you've got specific questions and things too, is not all the time, but I am generally on the Tuesday night cantina, right? Tuesday nights is we have a Zoom, we post the link on the page, and we're all just in there like just talking about all things Star Wars, Rebel Scum Con, any other cons. Like I've got Galaxy Con Raleigh coming this next week. So um any specific questions and things, roll on into the Zoom, and we'll talk about it live and figure all those things out. But yeah,
Excellent.
like
And
until the next time, go ahead.
tomorrow's Jedi Archives.
Tomorrow is the Jedi Archives.
Yep.
Yes, they will be
And
talking
then
about all the High Republic comicsy things.
perfect. And then Monday, New Clone Wars Revisited with guest host JB, Jason Barnes. Next Wednesday is a new Daughters of the Galaxy where they're doing costumes, I believe, from Obi-Wan, because we did costumes from Andor last week. And then Thursday on the watch along, you guys are doing more ancillary Star Wars coverage. There was
Yes,
Big Bang, there was Goldbergs, and I think you guys are revealing this week's topic on Sunday, as you guys are still figuring out what's coming up next.
absolutely. Yeah, you never know
Excellent.
what it is that we're
All
doing.
right, fantastic. Well, thank you again, guys, for joining us. I will be in San Diego Comic Con, so please meet me at the San Diego Comic Con meetup
Yeah,
next Saturday. We will see you there. And until then, may the force be with you.
go to the booth and try on every helmet there.
Mhm. Booth 2913-G in the Star Wars Pavilion. It'll be a lot of fun. Can't wait to see all you guys. And then we'll see you in Texas.